along to a DLC of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast. This is the dedicated listener contribution. Again, Ellie's not here, filming for Viva la Dur League, so we've got Pugs.
Hello.
Filling in, which is fantastic. And Ellie will be back on Wednesday for episode 100. Now, the question that's come through this week came through on Instagram, Extremely Casual Gamers podcast, from Tim. And Tim wants to know, hypothetically, what are we going to be talking about on the podcast in 10 years' time?
Yeah, right. Well, I guess in 10 years' time, you still won't have been diagnosed and Pugs will still not have eaten a hot dog in 5 seconds yet.
Oh, Chris!
So I think
it was
very
days ago,
similar.
man. No, listen.
I'll be talking about...
I talked a big old game, all right?
Yeah.
But I want to say I'm glad you gave me the opportunity and I'd still try a hot dog. Anyway, as you were.
Yeah, but a bit of fun though, you know what I mean? You know, you got a free banana out of it. That's pretty good.
I had to say yes. I 100%. I couldn't back down after talking
Yeah.
that. I'll try anything once. I'll try anything once.
We just simply wouldn't have had you back if you didn't do it.
Yeah, valid.
You know?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I thought before we jump into the where do you think we'll be in 10 years' time, it's a good way to gauge where we are now. Yeah, obviously we know where we are in terms of what is available technology-wise, but 10 years ago, so we're talking September 2015, like what was the sort of peak of gaming at the time? I did a little bit of research into it, and the big games at the time were Bloodborne and
The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3.
Yeah, so we peaked 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, those two games.
It's been downhill ever since.
It's been shit ever since. Yeah. So, to be honest, when you look back, like...
So it's PlayStation 4.
Which is a great era. Like,
Yeah, great era.
I feel like we're at an era now of game consoles and generations of games where now, if you look back, they actually still look pretty damn good. So much so that they're just re-releasing them on PS5.
It was definitely more story-driven in most of the games that you had 10 years ago. And I think right about now is probably when obviously Call of Duty multiplayer was definitely massive still.
Fortnite?
Fortnite hadn't started, I don't believe, 10 years ago.
Holy.
Epic Games had Fortnite, which was Save the World, which was like which was an online sort of co-op game. Save the World was before they released the Battle Royale.
Okay.
So that's what Fortnite was before they released that mode, and then they just went all in on that mode.
Yeah, because when you first fired up Fortnite, it gave you the option to go Save the World or Battle Royale, and then they just got rid of Save the World because no one was playing it.
What was the Save the World?
How did that work? Save the World was kind of like it was like a survival horde sort of mode, you know, where you would. Same with Fortnite, you would build and gather, and then there'd be zombies, and you'd have to work together as a team to take down.
That sounds way more fun.
Yeah, so they did incorporate a little bit of that into Fortnite. And then eventually, that's when Fortnite Battle Royale was still a beta, but it was still had millions of people playing it.
Yeah, right.
So around about 10 years ago was right before Fortnite really blew up.
So I guess with the podcast, what we'll be talking about in 10 years' time is obviously it's our full-time jobs at this point.
Yeah.
And when I say full-time, I mean we sort of record. We're up to 3 episodes a week, full episodes.
Yep.
But that's all we do for work because we're getting so much sponsorship.
Yeah.
We're getting flown to like New York to play the latest games.
Yeah.
Being flown to Hideo Kojima has flown me to Tokyo to play the new Death Stranding 7. Wait, it's only 10 years away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Death Stranding 3. You know, things like that are happening, I like to think.
Yeah.
Or we're just plugging away doing a free gaming podcast. I don't know. We're somewhere in between those two, I think. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things is going to be no more consoles. I don't think there's going to be any consoles.
Which will make me sad. I love consoles.
I think it's going to be, everything's going to be
cloud-based, maybe?
Cloud-based. And I think because obviously Sony owns PlayStation, Sony does so many different things. I think so.
So in 10 years...
10 years' time, I think maybe consoles will still be around,
right.
But I think a majority of what we do is going to be cloud-based. I think it's going to be all integrated. I think Xbox, PlayStation sort of being separate titles is just going to be gone. And I think, for example, Sony is going to release a TV that is essentially got a PlayStation built into it.
But isn't cloud-based not utilizing the software of the TV? Isn't cloud-based using the hard-out software of somewhere else and then streaming it to your TV?
Exactly. I mean, in 10 years' time, internet's going to be fantastic. We're going to have like 7G instead of 5G, and the internet's going to be way better. At the moment, cloud-based gaming is quite hit and miss in some regards.
In New Zealand too. I don't think
in New Zealand
capacity, because you have to have amazing... for lack of a better term, internet coming from the cloud-based server.
Yeah.
And then you have to have amazing internet sending back your controls and actually playing the game.
Yeah, the latency is pretty bad. I tried the Amazon Fire Stick with Halo, and it just, I think I played maybe 10 minutes of the first Halo Reach mission, and I bailed on it because
You couldn't.
Jeez.
it sucks. And I love the Halo series. So that will be a thing of the past, and it'll be cloud-based gaming. I think that's going to be the future. VR as well. Obviously, that's not really taking off at the moment, but
No, it's not at its peak. Do you guys see much room for like competition with, how Fortnite's like its own platform at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I think we're talking about it a little bit last week.
week,
even.
yeah.
Just how it's literally its own thing with every kind of game you can imagine just all in one place.
like a hub, yeah.
A little bit like more competition in that sort of
Probably,
field.
yeah.
Like it seems like a really good way to do it, particularly for young gamers as well. Like
Yeah.
you just get one game. It's
Yeah.
easy for the parents to sort out. You just get one game and they can do everything.
Yeah.
You know-
And it's also age appropriate.
You know what I think's going to be a real thing is just we're all going to be playing games made by AI.
Yeah,
Ugh.
big time.
It's going to
Yeah.
be robots making games for humans based on what the robots have learned about us.
Yeah.
I think, which is really stink.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be like in the next couple of years. That is going to be a huge thing. People
AI
are going
is
to be
gonna be
losing
the
their
next
jobs. Yeah,
I think as well, in a good way, I think they're going to integrate. There's going to be, these own developers have their own AI system, just like how Samsung's got Gemini and Google's got their own and stuff like that. There'll be like, let's say, a Sony AI. And then when it comes to these developers utilizing that for like NPCs. So
Yeah.
you know how
Yeah.
with NPCs in big games like your Red Dead Redemption 2s and stuff like that, there's a pretty decent amount of like NPC interaction.
they're all scripted and voiced by someone.
Scripted and voiced, but there's still like, hours and hours of dialogue
Yeah.
to the point where it's not just like you press A to talk and they say the same thing over and over again. I feel like it's going to be AI generated conversations that will just continue.
Yes.
Yes.
And AI generated rooms. Like in Grand Theft Auto, you can't go just into a house. You can only go into houses that have been specifically written and designed.
Yeah.
But it'll be like you can go into a skyscraper in Grand Theft Auto 7 and you can visit in your AI generated as it's happening. As you're walking to the room, the game's like, oh, he's going to this room. Let's build a room,
I don't want to like some games use procedural generation.
Yeah.
So like Persona 5, which is a great game, has this one part, the dungeons, which are all procedurally generated. They're all different. They're randomized. They all look similar, but they're all different. Like they're all completely random.
Yeah.
I don't like that bit because it doesn't feel someone hasn't made this amazing
doesn't feel
thing.
deliberate.
No,
Yeah.
it's just been churned out by an algorithm and served to me, and I'm just in there, going through it.
Yeah.
I feel like I really worry that games, like I'm sure AI will get amazing and will be able to make things that are exactly what I like, but I really don't want to play something that hasn't been crafted by someone with love and care and really has that human element. I really worry about playing
I don't mind the procedurally generated stuff as an add-on, like when you've
Yes,
really
which it
tapped
was.
out all the
Totally.
other functions, like in Persona 5
Yeah.
or like the dungeons. What is it? The Chalice dungeons and
And
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne,
or
yeah,
whatever. You
they're
know what I
fine.
mean? I don't mind that if it's an add-on, but it being the main thing, not
Nah.
into it. No.
Totally.
So that's the thing I worry about is that games are going to get. It's just going to be robots making stuff for humans to make us dumber while the robots get smarter. I don't know.
Yeah. At the same time, like
Full tinfoil hat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The limits of
doomer.
AI is ironically up to humans, and humans will be like, they could have a conscience and they could keep an X amount of staff for the writing and the voicing and stuff like that, and then just use AI to fill, which would be, sort of everybody wins.
They'll
But
start like that.
yeah, it'll start like that, and
And
then all of a
then-
sudden profit margins will just expand because they'll be like, well, we could just get AI to voice everyone, and then we don't have to pay, Nolan North and Troy Baker all this money to create games. So yeah, in 10 years' time, there will be fully AI generated game series.
So are we landing on in 10 years' time? It's going to be really down buzz. Gaming's going to be lame. Robots are making
I
it.
think by then we'll have come around to it.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll just be the new normal. It'll be like,
Hopefully we'd have figured out creatively how to use it without
Totally.
feeling like we're taking all the creativity out of it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Or there'll be like systems in place to protect people in their jobs, particularly in, gaming
Yeah.
industries and stuff.
And in radio.
And in radio,
Well, not
man.
radio. That sounds old already, doesn't it? It's like saying and in television and in audio-based mediums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
in 10 years' time, will we even be doing the podcast ourselves, or would we just get AI to do
It'll
it?
be robots making it, talking about games that robots have made,
Yeah.
and just
In fact, actually, Sean Vandermeer, who listens to the podcast a lot,
Vandermeer, yeah.
Vandermeer, sorry, he sent an email to us. He ran our voices through.
Oh, he transcribed it all.
dear.
He ran our voices through he wrote a sort of like a segment for ECG and then got an AI software to sort of replicate us and sent me the audio file.
Why haven't we
Did
listened
that
to it?
scare the crap out of you?
It was scary because it was like, it wasn't the best because it was like we all had like British accents.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I will find it and I'll play it. We'll play it on the 100th episode or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like,
even if it's just 30 seconds of it or
yeah.
whatever.
And it was like, I think it listens to previous episodes and based on the episodes, it created a conversation. It was pretty similar to what we would talk about.
Great.
Yeah, and it's like
Is it?
if you listen to the voice, you're like, oh, you and me sound very similar.
Yeah.
So it's kind of had to figure out who's who.
Right, okay.
But yeah, that's now. So
So AI hasn't picked up on like who's got shit takes on movies yet.
Yeah, no.
It's a
and
differentiator.
who can't
Yeah,
eat a banana in
Yeah,
5 seconds?
exactly.
Yeah.
But that question was sent through from Tim. Thank you, Tim, to Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast on Instagram. If you have any questions or if you like to have any input into what we've talked about, hit us up on Instagram or our Facebook page, ECG for ECG. 100th episode is coming out this week. We've got prizes to give away, so make sure you stick around for that. And thank you, Pugs, for filling in for Ellie.
Thanks for having me again, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, mate. Excited
do
to
it
have you
again.
back
Yeah,
next time
with a hot dog.
with a hot dog and
And
a
a
speech
speech.
about Bloodborne.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.